Perego conquers the Ulster County Bullring. Get your brooms out as Hearn pulls the sweep. We take the white flag with one of the stars on the Dirt Car Big Block Modified Series. A little bit of rain doesn't stop us at all. Let's go racing. Race Pro Weekly starts now. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Race Pro Weekly. I'm your host, Mike Warren. Last year at the Battle of the Bullring at Accord, it was Danny Creedon walking away with the victory in one of Brett Deo's promoted events. As round two would come along, who would take home the win down in Ulster County? The Battle of the Bullring 2 at the Accord Speedway. As you see them going four wide, it would be the Wild Child. Andy Becchetti taking the lead at the drop of the green, and this one sliding up ahead of the three of Tommy Meyer. Cars on the move early. You see that Tycar trenchless technology. Car number one of Tyler Dipple looking to make his way up through the field. Also the 55 of Anthony Perego. Caution will come out early. Nick Rashinsky, Craig Hansen, and Danny Creedon, last year's winner of this event, all involved. And off of the restart, it would be Becchetti going to the front again. Jackie Brown would work on the inside of Tommy Meyer for the number two spot, and a caution would come out again as Tim Heinley and Jerry Higbee would get caught up in a jingle. A few other cars involved as well. And then another restart will put Perego into the number four spot. He would try to power around the outside of Jackie Brown for spot number three. He would look to get him as they continue to fight through the corner. Richie Urich trying to be on the move as well. As Bobby Varon would go around bringing out the caution, he would catch Donnie Elliott as well, as the caution will come out once again. Off the restart, however, Anthony Perego with a bid for the number two spot on Tommy Meyer, as caution will come out for Elliott once again on the front straightaway. And this is the big restart as Tommy Meyer off the next one would slide underneath Andy Becchetti for the race lead, and Jackie Brown would slide underneath him as well for spot number two, as Becchetti would have trouble. Brown would have something go loose right in front of Becchetti as they would lose numerous spots, and then with 10 to go, Perego would go to the inside and slide up in front of race leader Tommy Meyer, and that would be all she wrote as Anthony Perego picks up the win in the Battle of the Bullring. Perego would be your winner. Tommy Meyer would finish in the number two spot. Mike Rickey third, Rich Rickey Jr. fourth, and Jerry Higbee would round out the top five. Sportsmen were also handed, and the winner of that event would be Chance Spoonhauer. The night got started with a rain delay at Albany-Saratoga. As you see, the infield almost completely flooded, but Lyle Navarre and crew got it back together as Matt DiLorenzo would lead the field to the green in the 35-lap modified feature event. While Matty D would have the lead early, it would be Bret Hearn on the move. As you see him go to the inside of Elmo Reckner for position. Then Keith Flack would go to the inside of Chris Busta, who had a left rear flat on the K-Bass towing entry. He would sprint out, bringing out the only caution of the event. On the restart, Bret Hearn would be going towards the front in a hurry as he would get by Keith Flack and Jimmy Cottrell for position, then look to set his sights on the 3D of Matt DiLorenzo for the race lead. Mark Johnson would make his way up into the top five. At this point, he'd be in the number six spot trying to chase down Kenny Tremont, and then it would be Hearn pushing to the inside of Matty D through turn number 3 and 4 with about 15 to go, and he would take the race lead away in that number 20 machine. Johnson would wrestle the spot away from Keith Flack on the last lap to crack the top three, but it was behind the jet as Bret Hearn picks up another one. Bret Hearn would grab the win. Matt DiLorenzo would come home in second. Mark Johnson third, Keith Flack fourth, and Kenny Tremont would round out the top five. Vinny Sanginetti would be your race leader in the early going of the modified feature event at the Fonda Speedway. You see Mark Kozlowski and Corey Wilder splitting Craig Hansen in the early going of this one, while Bodie Bellinger in there as well. Stuart Friesen on the move on the outside lane. Bit of an incident would come up. You see Bobby Varon slowing and Brian Gleason up against the backstretch wall. That would end his night, and he would unfortunately walk away with a last place finish. Off of the restart, Stuart Friesen will be on the move, as well as Mark Kozlowski. He would go to the outside of Sanginetti for the race lead, and then Stuart Friesen will be on the move as you see him go to the inside of Jeff Trombley for position, and all of a sudden he would creep up on Kozlowski, and as announcer Jim King said, he would blow his doors off, sliding up in front of him off of turn number 3 and 4. He would be your new race leader. Varon would creep his way back up to try to get into the top 5, but this was all behind Stuart Friesen as he gets it done once again at the Track of Champions. The Canadian sensation strikes again. Mark Keselowski will come home in second, Ronnie Johnson third, Bobby Varon fourth, and Jeremy Wilder would round out the top 5. There's only one place in the Capital Region for you to get the full racing action. Stop down at the Bobco video booth at the track or call 518-399-0937. Bobco Racing Video, the next best thing to being there. With J.R. Hefner having rare mechanical woes a week ago, Bret Hearn has closed the gap to within 22 points with just a month to go. Would he make another run to pick up some more? Denny Soltis and Kyle Armstrong would sit on the front row for the 30-lap modified feature event. You see Kyle Hoffman making a great move down the back straightaway, getting out of a 4-wide battle. And you can only guess who was on the move early in this one, as Bret Hearn already going to work trying to crack the top 3 in that Fox Shocks car number 20 with J.R. Hefner right in front of him. He would pull even with him down the back straightaway and then would make the pass on the inside coming down the front stretch and slide up in front of him going up into turn number 1 to take a 3rd spot away. He would quickly go for the number 2 spot, getting by the 42 of Kyle Sheldon, and he would waste no more time getting by Kyle Armstrong as 18 would be in the books, and Hearn would be your new race leader. Caution will come out for the Newtown Pools, car number 11A of Armstrong, as he would have right rear trouble on the machine. That would end his night. Off the restart, Donnie Corellis was trying desperately to stay in the hunt for this one as he would get to the inside of Kyle Hoffman, but Hoffman running a great event. Meanwhile, Hefner with a pass that may prove worthy at the end of the season puts J.R. Hefner into the number 2 spot, trying to chase down the 20 of Bret Hearn. Keith Black would move to the inside of Brian Berger to try to take that spot away as well, but for the 850th time, Bret Hearn takes the checkered flag in his career. The 20 of Hearn picks up the win 3 in a row. J.R. Hefner would come home second, Kyle Sheldon third, Kyle Hoffman fourth, and Donnie Corellis would round out the top 5. Al McCoy and Bobby Vetter would set the pace at the Glen Ridge Motorsports Park, with Vetter taking the early lead. Craig Hansen moving up as well as he'd slide to the inside to Sean Pangman to crack the top 5 in the early going of this one. Al McCoy would make a great move to get by Rockefeller. He would take the spot back, which was the number 2 spot, as well as now Hansen would follow to pull into 3rd. Vetter would be way out in front, but the caution will come out for Jeff Rockefeller, and that would rebunch the field once again. Off of the restart, Corey Wilder trying to make a bit to the inside, but Craig Hansen going to go up to the top shelf as he'd bring it around turn number 4, and he would be your new race leader here as we headed towards the midway point of the event. Jamike Sola would be on the move. You'd see him work on the inside of early race leader Bobby Vetter. Now go to work on Willie Decker as well, looking to crack the top 3, and he would get that position, but for the 2nd straight week, Jamike Sola with some bad luck on the 711 machine, as that would end his night. Off the restart, Wilder with a great shot at the 20 machine, but Hansen would hold him off once again. Willie Decker looking to slide to the inside, and Bobby Varon getting into the fray as well, as he would try to make a bid on Willie Decker along with Corey Wilder, as Decker would get by for the number 2 spot, and then it would be Varon sliding around Wilder. He'd get into spot number 3. All this, however, was happening behind race leader Craig Hansen as he would pick up the win at the Ridge. Hansen would grab the victory. Willie Decker would come home in 2nd. Bobby Varon 3rd, Corey Wilder 4th, and Josh Hohenforst would round out the top 5. CRSA Sprints were on hand as the prelude to the modified feature this past Friday night. As in the early going, it would be Chad King with the race lead, but Scott Flammer would drive right around on the outside as he would take the position away in the early going in this one. Then Josh Panisic would try to make a move to the inside in that number 3 P machine to try to get by him as well, but Flammer would hold on. Car on the move would be the 07P of Danny Varon. He would slide up into the number 3 spot, then go around Panisic and try to go to work on your race leader, which was Flammer, and it wouldn't take much time as Danny Varon would slide into the race lead up into turn number 2. Varon would have the advantage as he pulls the slide job on him, and that would be all she wrote, as it was Varon time as he picked up the victory. Danny Varon would pick up the win. Scott Flammer coming home in 2nd, Chad King 3rd, Josh Panisic 4th, and Mike Kaiser would round out the top 5. Other winners on the night in the Sportsman, it would be Joey Scarborough, Rob Maxon in the Limited Sportsman, Bill Smith in the Pro Stocks, and Josh Coonrad in the Street Stocks. Performance, quality, service. That's DMC Racing Products. Hundreds of name brand parts, competitive prices. That's DMC. DMC Racing Products, race to win. Sportsman going 4 wide in memory of longtime Speedway runner Danny Odie, who passed away this past year. And at the drop of the green, it would be Ray Zemkin leading him up into turn number 1 and 2 for the first time. 3 wide battle between McAuliffe, Connor Cleveland, and Rocky Warner, all behind Jeremiah Munson here in the early going in this one. And Dave Constantino sticking his nose in there as well. Mark Mortensen would be on the move as he would look to catch Schaefer down the back straightaway, trying to get him for the number 2 spot. But in front of them, the battle was on as now Schaefer would try to make a bid to the inside of Zemkin for the race lead. Schaefer would get right in front of him. Zemkin would come back, make a little contact with him as they come off of turn number 4, wheel to wheel. As they headed up into turn number 1 and 2, Zemkin and Schaefer make contact, putting Schaefer up into the turn 2 wall. Mortensen would inherit the lead, and well, Schaefer, yeah, he ain't happy. Off of the restart, Mortensen would take the race lead once again with Munson and Constantino right on his back bumper. Munson would have to deal with Constantino and Rocky Warner, as well as Constantino would make a bid to the outside lane, but it would be all she wrote as Mark Mortensen would come home with the victory in memory of Danny Odie, and I know he was smiling to win one in memory of him. Mark Mortensen would pick up the win. Dave Constantino coming home second, Jeremiah Munson third, Rocky Warner fourth, and Adam McAuliffe would round out the top 5. Other winners on the night in the Pro Stocks, it would be Chucky Dumbluski. Dave Horning Sr. would win the Street Stocks, Daryl Holbert in the Vintage Mods, and Adam Pearson would take home the win in the Power Eye Midgets. Brian Sandstead would be your pole sitter in the small block modified feature at the Lebanon Valley Speedway as he would lead him up into turn number 1 and 2. Chad Jesio would make contact with Jason Harrington, sending him to the inside retaining wall down the back straightaway. A tough break for Harrington. Meanwhile, Tyler Dipple in the early going of this one would crack the top 5 in the Tycar Trenchless Technology machine as he would get by Artie Collins for the position. Then he'd make his way into the top 3, and the battle was on between race leader Sandstead, Wayne Jelly, and Tyler Dipple. As Jelly tried to make a bid for the race lead, Dipple would slide underneath him and take spot number 2 away and try to go to work on Sandstead for the number 1 spot. They'd make their way into turn number 3 and 4, and Dipple would keep it on the bottom as a nasty push was delivered by the number 12 machine of Sandstead. That allows Jelly to get by as well. Wayne Jelly would start to catch the number 1 machine as the final time off at turn number 3 and 4. Jelly gets some momentum. He'll dive to the inside, making it a photo finish at the line. And on a second look, it would be Tyler Dipple by inches picking up the victory. Dipple would grab the win. Jelly would come home second. Brian Sandstead third. Artie Collins fourth. And Ryan Darcy would round out the top 5. Other winners on the night in the Sportsman, it would be Whitey Slavin. Victor Hopkins would grab the win in the Pro Stocks. And the 3 Pure Stock winners were Hunter Sanchez, Jesse Murphy, and Jeff Krutzinger. Randy Kosselman and Gus Halder would be your pole sitters for the Pro Stock feature event at the Glen Ridge Motorsports Park. As they come around, it would be a little bit of contact as Horning and Stone would come together, and Kosselman will be left up in turn number 4, as that would bring the caution out in the early going, which would break a bid for Nick Stone to pick up another victory. Off of the restart, Jim Normoyle would take the race lead going around the outside of Holner. Cousin Luke would move to the inside of Kosselman to look to take spot number 3 away. Nick Stone would try to fight to the inside as well, as Cousin Luke would go to the inside of Holner once again to get spot number 2. He would get that away as Jim Normoyle continued to lead this one. Nick Stone would do his best to try to get to the inside lane on Horning to try to take the spot, but it would be Jim Normoyle picking up the win. Normoyle grabs the victory. Luke Horning will come home second, Nick Stone third, Gus Holner fourth, and Harley Shepard would round out the top 5. Other winners on the night, Chad Edwards would grab the win in the Sportsman. Daryl Holbert picking up 2 wins this weekend in the Vintage Modifieds. Adam Pearson would pick up the win in the Midgets. Mike DeAnda in the 4 cylinders, and Pete Morehouse would grab the win in the XL 600 Modifieds. The Choice's 301 program takes a multifaceted approach aimed at educating the public about the realities and dangers of what can happen when bad decisions are made inside a motor vehicle. Don't hesitate to designate.
Jimmy, could you describe your 2014 season for us so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been tough. I mean, it's been a little disappointing. We haven't won like we obviously intend to, and at the end of the day, we're working hard to try to rectify that. But it's been a tough season. We've been really searching for the balance, and I feel like we get close, and it's like a step forward and a couple back. But we got good guys behind us. We got a great car owner and a great team, and really good equipment. So I mean, I can't imagine it's going to last long if we keep working.
You had the addition of a new teammate here with Matt Shepard. Has that helped you at all?
I think it has. At least I got somebody that for sure knows the deal, and I can kind of bounce off what I'm feeling with. And at the end of the day, we've kind of went a different direction with cars, and it's taken me a little bit longer to get comfortable than I'd hoped. But he's been a real big help at kind of pointing out some of the things that I need to change as a driver, and we've been able to work together to kind of compare notes to help get this car developed and get it moving forward.
How tough is it to come into a night tonight like the big show here, with it being rain delayed? The race is already on its way. Is that difficult as a driver?
It's tough. I mean, it's tough. We at the end of the day, you got your focus on that night, and then you got to take a month off and remember where you left off. So, but it is what it is. We had a decent car. We got up in the hunt there, and just ran out of time.
Jimmy, sort of ironic here at the big show tonight, Bret Hearn's show. You've gone to the other side too, track manager now at Weed Sport. How's that working out?
It's working out great. I mean, so far so good. We been a lot of work, and fortunately we got a ton of help from some really great people, and of course Mr. Hankey's just like everything else he does. He does it first class, and he makes sure we have the tools we need to succeed, and this has been no different. So it's been a lot of work, and a lot of late nights, but I'll tell you, I wouldn't trade it for nothing right now.
Anything you've noticed being on the other side of the fence now that maybe you complained about in the past that maybe you won't be so quick to now?
Oh, that list is too long to even get into right now. I tell you, we, as drivers, you think you know everything, no question, and there's a lot more to it. And I definitely opened my eyes up to the whole other side of things, and sometimes things happen for a reason rather than just it was a bad call, and like I said, that list can go on and on. So but yeah, no, you know what, there's a whole other side of it that people don't see, and really fortunate to be able to spend so long on the racing side of it and be a part of this, and have it be a part of mine and my family's lives, and then now to be able to see the other side of it, it's just kind of like another stage, but it's been good.
It's now time for this week's NISCA Performer of the Week, and with back-to-back wins in the Capital Region in the CRSA Sprints, this week's recipient is Danny Varon. Varon is now eligible for the Performer of the Year award given out at the end of the season. That's all for this week's show. For the latest news, results, and photos, check out Race Pro Weekly online, www.raceproweekly.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. So for myself, Matt Knowles, Fast Eddie, Scott Morlock, Amber Chalmers, Dave Del Sandro, and everyone that helps put Race Pro Weekly together, thank you for watching this week's episode, and we'll see you next time.